Right folks, another update from the plot. Apologies for massive delay because loads has changed since I've last done it. Unfortunately, been ridiculously busy at work and at home. Finally snuck up for a few hours just to check on the place, do some weeding and a few odd jobs ready for the weekend, and lots has changed. I did a video earlier this week, but it was pouring it down the rain and it's incredibly windy and the sound was terrible. It didn't help I swore a few times without realising it on the video, so I thought I'd redo it once I've tidied up the plot a little bit, because it was a little bit weedy, but not as bad as I was expecting it, to be honest. Let's just start off at the back. This is going to be worked on now. This is a priority. As you see, it's a bit of a mess, but I knew it would be, because when I took the plot on, I decided to just work one half and let the other just sit there ready for the end of the year. So all the wood chip is slowly going into these bags. It's actually quite heavy work, but getting there, probably about 2 more bags worth of wood chip in there, and that'll all be cleared because that's where the polytunnel's going. So I need to start work on getting it flat, marking it out, digging the trench, and probably hopefully get it set up September. If not, I might just have to do it in the new year because I'm going to be really busy over October and November, so, and I don't particularly want to be doing it over winter. Sorry, December. And this bit here is where the shed's going, so I really need to crack on, clear the weeds and dig out all these brambles properly, and all these paving slabs. I'm going to be forming the base, and by that point all the black sheeting here will be lifted to allow for the main bed to extend down this way a little bit further. Not too sure what I'm actually going to put in the middle area here. Probably going to just put some gooseberries and blueberries, that sort of thing, or maybe a few cherries and that sort of thing, a few plums, maybe have a bit of a mini orchard down here. Not too sure yet. I think having a few trees would be good down here because it'll act as a windbreak for where the polytunnel's going to go. Because as you can probably hear from the wind, you can see the doors flapping around. It's quite an exposed plot, so I'm going to really try and put a few wind blocks in wherever I can, really, because it has affected things. Not much really major over there. My onions, I'll start on this side, have just died a death. They look really, really good. As you can see here, I've lost pretty much 70% of that row. The red onion seems to be doing a bit better, but overall a bit disappointing, really. It is very, very weedy. But I found what's the problem is it's ivy, and as I'm pulling at the ivy, it's pulling out the onions, so it's kind of catch-22, really. I have tried a weed in between, but it just hasn't really worked. We'll get a crop, but nowhere near as much as I thought I would do. It's a bit of a shame. A lot of them are just sort of rotted, got that horrible black and green mildew stuff on the base. I don't know what it's called. I know it's a particular disease. So maybe next year, who knows. I've never had success with onions. Always had something go wrong with them. The kale is doing alright, actually. These on the side here, these 4, got absolutely torn apart by the slugs, and even though they're still small, they've come back really, really well. And these ones along here are starting to finally pick up. The idea being these will grow well into winter, and then once the ones in my back garden have been munched on, I'll lift these up as well. So these are really just, I'm not picking them up at the minute, I'm just letting them get as big as possible. And a solitary Brussels sprout, oils grow far too many, so I've just done the one, but it's looking quite far behind. Don't know what I'll get from that, if anything, because I usually only tend to grow them for Christmas, really, so we'll see. Rhubarb, look a bit sad, but hopefully I'll pick up next year. I think it's just being transported probably didn't help, and it's not the best soil here. Probably not had the best of times, really. Currants, these first 3 are black currants, doing really, really nicely. They'll be picked soon. I'm going to make jelly out of them rather than jam, because the bits in these are quite off-putting. My kids won't touch it, so hopefully that'll turn out alright. Red currants, really need picking. Hopefully going to do that this weekend, because some of them are starting to shrivel up and die, as you can see on that branch here. And it's beast of a branch, bush side. Just come down here. I don't know how well you can see that on the camera. Just try and turn up the brightness a little bit, might help. Yeah, there you go. You can see them a bit better now. Absolutely laden with them. But again, I've got to get in these quick because some of these are starting to shrivel up and die. I just turn the brightness back down a little bit. There we go. Potatoes, doing really, really well. Really pleased with these. It's the first time I've grown them, and they've got a really nice compost, so I'm not surprised really that they're doing well. I did notice actually there is some fruit growing on one of these. I'll just try and find it. They look like little tomatoes, it's really bizarre. Here we are. There we are, look at that. They're poisonous, but still quite cool. Try not to trip up over my netting. So yeah, really looking forward to tipping these out and see what I've got really. Next year, definitely going to be doing the same technique and doing some salad potatoes, because I absolutely love salad potatoes, but for some reason I totally forgot to actually buy any. One to remember for next year. Right, the giant pumpkins have really exploded. Can't say 'cause I've cleared it all up, but I had to take off so many fruit. They were just growing all over this. It's already set two quite nice ones on this one bush. A bit of a shame they're so close together. I would have preferred them at opposite ends, but we'll see. I'm not looking for absolutely monstrous ones. They're really just for the kids. But yeah, packing on some weight already. Really, really pleased with that one. Again, this is the other one. It's the least healthiest of the two giants, but it's got one here, one there. I'm going to let them grow for a few more weeks. Well, another week I should say actually, and then pick off the best, because as you can see there's a few more under here. And I really want it just to concentrate into no more than two. And there's one just over there as well that needs that. Actually, there's some of the ones I'll have to pick off. So yeah, quite looking forward to seeing what I get with these, because the kids are going to absolutely love it. Great success, one of my few. Beans. I actually came down last week and picked this clean, and already there's another carrier bag on them. Next year that's going to be a wooden cage with proper canes in it, not just some netting, because as I'll show you on this side, it's kind of just pulled it all down. Still worked, but I want a bit more of a permanent structure. But yeah, really pleased with that. And they're actually really, really tasty. It's the first time I've grown them, so I wasn't too sure what sort of results I'd get. And my neighbour always has really good, well, he says he gets cracking results on his plots, so I thought I'd give them a go, and here we are. Quite looking to pick them. What I might do actually at the end is, once I've picked everything, I might just show you what I've collected for today. Raspberries, I didn't know you had to sort of support them, and they've kind of all just fallen over. And unfortunately, because I've been so busy, I've not been able to come down and pick them, so unfortunately a lot of the fruit's gone to waste. I did get a good few carrier bags off it all, but as you can probably see, absolute mountains I missed, which I'm quite disappointed about, because again, I've just stuck them in the freezer or made jam or jelly out of them. Who knows, there might be some left I can still pick. I didn't prune this when I moved into this plot, and I didn't realise you needed to. So all of this old cane is all going to go, and I'm going to get some more in. Sorry, I'm really, really windy today, so I'm going to let that wind pass. I'm going to properly support all of this and give it a really good pruning, try to revitalise it a little bit, but still, despite the fact I haven't touched it, got quite a bit out of it. Strawberries are pretty much done and dusted for this year, but these 8 new runners have just been put down literally just 5 minutes ago, and I've still got about half a dozen more to come out from there. I've just given it a really good cutting, getting rid of all the old dying leaves, and it's probably about 5 runners per plant. It's ridiculous. Really fighting a losing battle controlling them. So what I'm thinking is, because these have just a really, really short sort of picking season. Literally about 2 weeks you get with these. These are called Marshmallow, and they really reach their prime and sort of fade away pretty quickly. What I'm going to do is, where these bricks are out to the raspberries, is get a later cropping variety and stick those in. So I've got a bit of a longer cropping period really. Don't be wrong, marshmallows are absolutely fantastic. They're really, really nice, big, fat and juicy. But you don't get long to them. And next year I'm going to build a proper, this year / next year I'm going to build a proper cage for these. The netting is just a pain in the arse. Everything just gets tangled up in it. So I'm going to build a proper, either a hoop or just a box. I'll probably have to build it in 2 halves to make it manageable when I'm sort of picking and sorting them out. Big change since the last video is this. Lovely neighbour next door gave me some pallets, you can see in the background there. And I knocked them up into a giant big manure / compost bin. He has a couple of horses, so he said he'd have no trouble filling them up, and literally he wasn't lying. This literally got filled up in a space of a few weeks. I'm absolutely free. Oh great, I've left my my clippers in for shit. Fantastic. It's a thing, I leave stuff everywhere and I forget where it is. So yeah, I just put them together using a few of these old shelf brackets. Yeah, and away we went. So just going to get a better idea of just how much manure there is in that. I'm really pleased because that's going to help me no end. Just started off this side, he said he'll fill this up, and I'm not doubting that one little bit. I've been cutting down the comfrey and adding it in, just to help it rot down a bit quicker. So yeah, quite pleased with that, very happy. I've been wanting that, a manure bin since I moved in, and I finally got one, so that's going to really help next year when it's all rotted down a bit. Right, massive failure. This is the first time I've ever had problems with sweet corn. First of all, they're tiny, absolutely tiny compared to what I'm used to in terms of size. Cropping really bad, and on top of that, I've never had this problem before. Magpies have come in and decimated my crop. Flies, so literally just come in and had their fill. I've got a few ears, but they're really skinny. This variety is called Calverden Glory, or Calverden, I don't know how you pronounce it. I shall never be growing it again. It's just not done very well at all. But then again, my neighbours has done very poorly, and quite a few of the other plots I've noticed, they've really not grown. It's been really bizarre weather this year. They've just not done very well at all. I'd say easily about 70% of these have either been eaten or just, if you have a look on this one, they're just these little skinny little runty things. It's a real shame. It's one of the highlights of growing is my sweet corn. My kids go mad for it, so yeah, look at that ear. That's just bizarre. I'm just focusing on that. It's just I don't know what that is. So I'm going to stick to Lark, which is a variety I grow year on year and I've always had success with. But I thought I'd give another one a try, and end up with this. Some of these don't even have anything on them. See this one here, just barren. Real shame. Truly is. But hey ho, you know, it's always next year, as they say. Apple tree, I've heard on the news or the radio, it's not been a great year for the apple growers in the country. Even though I've only got one tree, I can certainly relate. It's this time last year, I was literally filling up a wheelbarrow full of all the dropped fruit. There's still mountains of it on the tree itself, but just not really much at all. Sorry, I just realised you can't really see anything on this video. I wasn't looking what I was pointing at. But yeah, there's some on there. I don't know if it's because I pruned it. I can see it was really just growing out everywhere, so I gave it a really heavy prune over winter. I'm just wondering if maybe I've chopped off all the flowering buds. So I'll probably just remove the odd one or two. It's kind of growing a bit wayward, and then just leave it. But these are cooking apples. They're not eating apples at all. They're a bit sour for that. Right. one mega success is my pumpkins. My normal pumpkins, that is, not my giants. These are called New England pumpkin pie, and grew them last year. Got one pumpkin per plant, and I was like, never again. But then I found a packet of seeds, and I thought, well, might as well. And I think I might stick to this variety for like ever, because it's done absolutely fantastic. I'll just show you just how many. I've counted about 20. That's one of the first ones, another one here, 2 there, 1 there, another one in there, there. Oh, I don't think you can see actually, just there. Literally, as I go around, I just keep finding clumps of them. So there's another 2 here, another one there, another 2 there. Oh, that one's not set. And they're just doing really, really well. And these are a really good eating variety. They're quite sweet. Just another one. Literally, I keep finding them everywhere. So yeah, really, really pleased with this. I have been feeding them every week, and really, really, really happy with these. I love my pumpkin soup and my pumpkin pie, so these will keep me going for quite some time. These 2 are my butternut squash, putting their flowers out. I'm sure I spotted a fruit on one of them. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to set or not. It's looking a bit pale, but it's on the right track. I've never grown these before again, but it must have died off, because I was here last week for half an hour, and I'm sure I saw one, but maybe it's not actually set. These little beds here, I've put some artichoke in. These were supposed to be for the asparagus, but it just never grew. I was being a bit tight-fisted and was trying to grow from seed, so I think I actually had to just bottle it and buy some crowns, do a bit of a combination of growing crowns and doing it from seed. These are my swede. Looking not the healthiest. I think the white fly and white cabbage butterflies got to it a little bit, so I've given it a spray. Despite how bad it looks, it's never actually died off. It's always come back, so we'll see. A couple of them have split, but I put that down to the fact we've been having really dry weather and then really wet weather, which is a real pain in the backside. It's either one or the other at the minute. My half a dozen parsnips. Woohoo! I'm actually quite pleased with these, actually. I've never grown them before, but some of these are starting to actually get some decent size on them. And a few of them are randomly cropped up amongst the swede. So obviously the seeds I planted were just sort of woken up much later than I expected. So happily have them over Christmas. That's all they're really putting the ground for, to be honest. Last but not least, for tomatoes. These are Roma plum tomatoes. I've grown this every single year. I always grow them outside, and they do absolutely fab. I don't pinch them or do anything like that. I just kind of let them be. And the great thing is, because they're quite short and stout, they don't need any support. They're just quite happy. I think I've spaced them perhaps a little bit tightly. These have grown much bigger than usual. They're probably 30% bigger than what I'm used to. So, can't really complain, really. But they're starting to crop. Oh, snail, let's get you out of there. They're starting to crop nicely. And these will go in the food dehydrator, and I'll make sun-dried tomatoes out of them, though they're technically not sun-dried. Accidentally put this must be mislabeled, because this is a cherry tomato, and it's ended up amongst the plum tomatoes, and vice versa at home. I normally just plant all the cherry tomatoes at home, so I can just pick them as I want them, and there's a few plum tomatoes in with them, so I must have just not been paying attention when I was labelling them up and repotting them up. So that's it, really. A bit of a long update. I apologise for what's going on. A bit of shame about the sweet corn, but stuff like that happens. So really, my main aim now is, now things are slowing down or just sort of cracking on all by itself is really start working on the back here, getting this ready, because there's a lot of work to be done. I don't want it to go unused for a second year, so yeah, it'd be good. So the idea is this will come out a little bit further, probably that's about where I'm stood. Rhubarb will go there. 2 gooseberries I've got one sweet and one sort of green, sort of soury kind of gooseberry. Gonna go up to there. Polytunnel will be there. Mini orchard there, and a shed in the corner because it's kind of slap bang almost in the middle of the plot, so it's kind of awkwardly placed really. Right, well I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna go pick some stuff, and I'll just do a quick video on what I've managed to pull off, and catch you soon. Right, really quickly, as promised, the pickings. So sweet corn, managed to get these 4. They're quite small, but better than nothing. And a whole load of beans. So these are going to be chopped and frozen. So yeah, quite pleased with that. Absolute mountains of them, and there's many more on the plants themselves. So yeah, I think I'm going to get a good few more pounds out of that one for sure. Well, anyway, happy growing, and I'll do an update in a couple of weeks when might be harvesting the next thing. Who knows? Speak to you soon. Bye.